Something new, something different. Yes. Do more. Wow. Do the impossible. Do better. Do big. Do good. Do it again and again and again. Do what no one else has done with radio. This is our promise at Diamond FM. Diamond 88.7 FM, shining supreme.
The time is 9 o'clock.
Aago mẹ́sàn-án ti lù.
From news to sports, current affairs to entertainment, beautiful music, amazing programs, we got you all covered at Diamond 88.7 FM.
For the best of national, local, international news and sport, tune in to News Punch and Diamond 88.7 FM. News Punch, all about the news.
It's 1 minute gone past 9 a.m. Good morning and thank you for joining us on today's edition of News Punch on Diamond 88.7 FM Ilorin, where we bring you the trending stories across the globe. I am Tobi, Adebisi, and here are the stories we are monitoring for you at this hour. The Senate has launched an investigation into allegations of bribery and corruption leveled against officials of the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System (IPPIS) at various universities across the Federation. The Senate also resolved to hold an interaction session with the head of service, the national president and of the Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASU), the chairman of the Committee on Vice Chancellors of Nigerian universities and other relevant stakeholders after it constitutes a committee on tertiary institutions. IPPIS was introduced in 2007 to administer the monthly payroll of the federal government's workers in a manner to guarantee confidence in staff emoluments. In Nigeria, an economist and presidential candidate for the Abundant Nigerian Renewal Party in 2019 general elections, Tobi Fasua, has called for an increase in wages across the board. He made the call on Channels Television's Politics Today program amid plans by President Bola Tinubu to disburse palliatives to cushion the effect of petrol subsidy removal on Nigerians. Fashua stated that whatever plans the federal government has for civil servants should be replicated in the private sector. In tech, Elon Musk on Wednesday launched his own artificial intelligence company XAI as he seeks to compete with OpenAI, the creator of ChatGPT, a program he accuses of being politically biased and irresponsible. The XAI website said the Tesla tycoon would run the company separately from his other companies, but that the technology developed would benefit those businesses, including Twitter. Musk on Twitter added that the new company's aim to understand reality and answer life's biggest questions. The startup is staffed by former researchers of OpenAI, Google DeepMind, Tesla, and the University of Toronto. In sport, Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has claimed the beat of major competition to sign Mason Mount from Chelsea this summer. The Red Devils reached a £60 million agreement with their Premier League rivals, and on Wednesday, Mount made his United debut in 2-0 win over Leeds United in a pre-season friendly. After the game, Ten Hag spoke about the battle they faced from different clubs to sign the England midfielder. That's all we have for you on this edition of News Punch. Up next is the Diamond Breakfast Show, where we bring you the analysis of the stories. Please stay tuned.
The
The major talking points in Nigeria are always on the lips of the citizens.
What's going on in this country? Look at smaller countries taking lead, and you call yourself giant of Africa. Yeah.
Nigeria don't spoil my business too much. Nigeria is too hard for us. I mean, I want to kill us. Father, not kill us for Nigeria. Oh, please, help us beg them.
They should reduce their expenditure so that they can free enough money for social development.
I wish for a Nigeria where we elect a leader based on competency and not popularity.
On the Diamond Breakfast Show, we place the spotlight on the critical issues in the country.
Government that says they are broke can prioritize construction of an additional runway over education of the people.
How can a government, how can you hold in domain? This is intolerable. It's provocative.
Now, you see, when you look at our democratic journey, we are yet to practice genuine democratic system in Nigeria.
Join us on Mondays to Friday on the DBS from 9 to 10 a.m. The Diamond Breakfast Show, amplifying the voice of the people.
From the studios of Diamond 88.7 FM in Loring, this is the Diamond Breakfast Show.
Alright, you're welcome back, and it's the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. My name is Tobi Adebisi. Here we will be analyzing some of the major talking points in the news, and to do this with me this morning is Mr. Olarewaju Lawal. He is the Kwara representative of Budget Tracker, public affairs analyst, and a social commentator. Good morning, and it's nice to have you again.
Good morning, Toby. Good morning to all our listeners.
And you look great this morning.
Thank
I
you.
love the cap especially. All right, let's move on in the discussion. President Bola Tinubu has written to the National Assembly seeking an amendment to the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act. Now, the president said the amendment was to allow the federal government to source for 500 billion naira for palliatives to cushion the effect of subsidy removal on petrol. There are a lot of questions raised to this, especially based off of the reason for the amendment of the act. But before we go into the questions, what is your reaction? The moment you saw this, what came to your mind first?
Well, thank you once again. Good morning to all our listeners. There's an adage that says it's better late than never. That was my first reaction. I was part of those who lampooned the government over the handling of the subsidy removal. Don't get me wrong, we all agree that the subsidy regime is not sustainable. However, we shouldn't put the cart before the horse. There are certain measures that should have been put in place to cushion the effect of the removal. But the government just went ahead to remove subsidy, and then as an afterthought began to look for how to cushion the effects. So, like I said, it is better late than never. It is a good one. However, questions are still being asked as to what is the modus operandi, the processes that are going to be involved in the distribution of these palliatives, what those palliatives entail, what they consist of. Is it cash disbursement, which is not tied to any productive venture, thereby amounting to wastage? Are the palliatives going to be in kind? If not in cash, are they going to be in kind? What other methods or processes will the government institute at this point, where we are going to have a clear departure from what used to obtain? Don't forget, in the last administration, palliatives were shared. However, it did not reach as much as it should. It did not reach those who really need it, because so many people at different layers of authority abused that process, and it pushed Nigerians up to a point where Nigerians became vandals, breaking down warehouses, breaking into warehouses to get to these palliatives. And we should not forget that even some politically exposed persons were alleged, and with documentary evidences, pictures and videos, were alleged to have cornered these palliatives and used it for their own personal aggrandizement. For example, there was a lawmaker in Lagos, Amuwodofin State Constituency, that used these palliatives as souvenirs. There was another one in Oyo State that was to distribute it as souvenirs during his birthday. But when Nigerians got wind of that, they had to break into the warehouse. So all of this is in order not to go down this route. The government needs to think outside the box and look at how they are going to institute processes that are different from what we used to have in order to get a different result. Because Nigerians are suffering. The last administration has pushed more Nigerians into poverty. Now subsidy has been removed. More Nigerians have been pushed into poverty as well. Much more than before. So now for these palliatives to have the desired effect, government must come clean. There must be sincerity of purpose. There must be transparency in the distribution. It should not be used to serve political purposes or for political rewards for people who, for one reason or the other, based on how they've been able to help the government into power. It shouldn't be that way. If we really want to be serious, that's my take on it.
All right, thank you so much for that. But then, still speaking of the timing, a lot of people have said that they've said that before the subsidy was removed, the palliative ought to have been on ground. There ought to have been provisions for people, and all of that kept coming on. Now, offering palliatives at this time is still generating a lot of reactions, because some people are saying that at this time a lot of people are already getting accustomed to what is going on about that. Now, do you think that offering palliatives is a viable approach to cushioning the effect of subsidy?
There are no two ways about it. It is not just viable, it is expedient, it is important, because you can't just take away the only thing that seems to be what we are gaining from the government as a people. I've always maintained that before subsidy is to be removed, certain measures should have been put in place. For example, in the area of transportation, some state governments have come up to say, okay, instead of 5 working days, let's reduce it to 3. It's a form of palliative, so that it will reduce the cost that the civil servants spend on transporting themselves from home to the office and back. It saves some money in their pockets. That's one. Now, government should have thought of other ways. Apart from that in and of itself is good, but that is at the state level. How about federal civil servants? How about those in the private sector? And we all know that a little over 60% of the economic workforce in this country are in the informal sector. They are not even in the private, they are not even in the public sector, the informal sector. And so how do we carry that large demography? How do we carry them along? I know how much it cost me to get to your studio today, this morning, and it was not like that before. I took a trip yesterday, and what I spent is ×4 of what I used to spend just about 3 months back. ×4. So, for those who are in the private sector, who form the majority of the workforce in this country, how do we carry them along? That is the need for these palliatives. They should have been there before the subsidy was removed. But there's never, it's better late than never. There's never a wrong time to do a right thing. So, now that the thought is coming in, we want to know what forms of palliatives.
Exactly.
Are they in cash? Are they in kind? I am of the opinion that they should be in kind, not cash. Because cash, there's a spirit that comes with it. It is easy to abuse. It is very tempting, and it is easy to abuse. So if it is in kind, then we can now begin to measure in intangible terms how it has impacted on the people positively.
All right, thank you so much. I want us to make an attempt to explain the act, the Supplementary Appropriation Act, which is to be amended in order to allow the government to, make provision of 500 billion naira for palliatives as it is being planned, because a lot of people still do not understand that. And one question that I know is plaguing the mind a lot of people is that, oh, why do you have to amend an act just to make 500 billion naira available? Also, based off of the fact that our past governments have been irresponsible when it comes to the management of funds and all of that. They say, oh, we are taking this to do this, and you don't hear anything about them. So an average Nigerian is hearing that an act is going to be amended for this to happen, and there's a lot of questions on their heart. So I want us to make an attempt to clarify that. But in the meantime, let's go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back. It is still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. The conversation still continues when we get back. Stay with us.
Diamond FM, radio made for you. Are you looking to introduce your business to the world or maintain an existing brand image? Well, let's help you. Advertise with us at Diamond 887 FM in Lorry. We provide a wide range of services to help showcase your business. For inquiries and advert bookings, visit our marketing office at Plot 2, New Uni Road, Irewolede, Ilorin, or call 091 2929 4332 or 081 2828 6078. Diamond 887 FM, your shining supreme station.
Alright, you're welcome back, and it's still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. I still have Mr. Olaruwaju Lawal in the house doing justice to the topics with me. And before we went on that break, I said I wanted us to make an attempt to explain what the Supplementary Appropriation Act is. So you come to the rescue.
Thank you very much. You see, in the process of governance, or in a democracy, there is what we call separation of powers. The executive are empowered by the Constitution to execute, to implement, draw policies and implement policies. But when it comes to touching the treasury, spending public funds, they need an approval from the legislative arm, majorly the Senate. Because the Senate has three main functions: legislation, appropriation, and oversight. Now, it is that appropriation power that is vested in the legislative arm of government that the executive now needs to say, okay, we want to spend ABC amount on XYZ project. That is why there's always an amendment to a budget. Then we'll call it supplementary budget. That is as simple as I can.
As simple as it is.
So it is a requisite process in governance.
And why is it important at this time that it is amended to make provision for this?
Yes, it is important because don't forget, when the new administration came in his inaugural speech as president, the president said subsidy is gone, that it was not budgeted for. Now, for you to now take another 500 billion from the coffers of the federation to use for palliatives, as noble as the idea is or the intention is, you cannot just do it by fiat. You need to get the approval of the representatives of the people. Don't forget that democracy is a representative government. It's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And we have representatives in the National Assembly, the Federal House of Reps, and the Senate. So it is those representatives who will now give the go-ahead to the executive. So, okay, you can use this ABC amount for XYZ projects.
All right, thank you so much. Now, lastly on this topic, before we begin to take reactions, do not forget that you can send your reactions in to us on WhatsApp and through text message on 09136556864. Again, 09136556864. What are your thoughts about the fact that the President, Bola Tinubu, has written to the National Assembly seeking an amendment to the 2023 Supplementary Appropriation Act? The president said the amendment was to allow the federal government to source for 500 billion for palliatives to cushion the effects of subsidy removal on petrol. So what are your thoughts on that? An economist and a former presidential candidate, Tokwe Fasua, has called on the government to extend their plans for palliatives for civil servants to the private sector. And I remember that you were speaking about it too before we went on the break, that the demography actually in the private sector is a very large one, and how do we cover that? Now, the question is this feasible, that all these people are also, they are considered when this is done?
Yeah, it is very feasible if the government has got a well thought out plan. For example, both the private and the public sector, we go to the same markets, we use the same public transport, we use the same public facilities, we worship in the same worship centers. It is only where we work that differentiates us. So if palliatives are to come in, especially if they are to be in kind, then the private sector will also benefit. Because it is not only, for example, the government cannot bring out mass transit buses and say it is only federal government workers or state government workers that should make use of them. It should be open to the public, including those who have got jobs and those who don't, because we are all citizens of the same country. I'm just saying, we have the largest demography, the informal sector, those in the private sector. They are the largest demography of the entire workforce in this country. So government should also, in thinking about the palliatives, should also put those ones in consideration, because palliatives, I have not seen the document. I've not seen the policy statements. I just read the statement. I've not seen the document to know, okay, what are we putting in to cushion this effect? That's why I said I don't know if it is in cash or kind. If it is in kind, which I advocate for, better than in cash. If it is in kind, then we should spread it around so that those in the private sector would also feel a touch of the government, because we all pay our taxes.
All right, thank you so much for that. You can join in the show now. Let's get your reactions. 09136 556952, 09136556952. Also, you can call 08000887887 887, 08000887887, and for your text and WhatsApp messages, 09136556864. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Taiwo. I'm calling from Taiwo.
All right, thank you so much, Taiwo from Taiwo. Let's get you.
Yeah, first of all, I don't think 500 billion naira will be enough to cushion the effects of this present hardship on people. If when we are talking about the rate of the inflation, go and check it. According to the data analyzed by some professional economics professional. So secondly, there must be a wage for every Nigerian. If they want to spend this money, this is the way they can spend the money that every Nigerian will benefit. Because every Nigerian is affected by this present situation, so that no one should be left out, whether you are selling for more or not, whether you work in the private sector or in public sector, so that there should be a wage for every Nigerian that will not be less than 100,000 naira monthly. Firstly. Secondly, there should be an increment, a reasonable increment for every civil servant in the country, so that starting from 100,000 naira increment, because that's the only way. God bless Diamond. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. I know you have a reaction, Mr. Lawal.
I don't.
All right.
I don't want to.
Hello, good morning.
My name is Emmanuel.
Thank you so much. Let's have your reaction.
question is that, is it not possible that things that we be buying in the market will be lesser than ever before? And petroleum something should be very easy for people to buy. I mean, to be surplus and the price will come down. Is it not possible? We are the owner of these things. Why are we suffering again? Ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran ni wá, kí ló dé tí a ń jẹ̀gùn? Ọmọ aláṣọ ni wá o, kí ló dé tí a ń wá kìsà? Ọmọ elépo ni wá, kí ló dé tí a ò répo lò?
Wow, this is.
Jẹ́ kí ọrùn wa ṣí o, ọrùn Nàìjíríà ṣí o.
We have to let you go, Mom. Amen. Amen. In fact, thank you so much for calling in on the show. That song really cracked me up. And
the song back.
Yes, the song cracked me up because really, well, that's an heartfelt comment by an affected Nigerian, and it's safe to say that we all feel like that. Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost that call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Tobi.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Davis calling from Shao.
All right, thank you, Mr. Davis from Shao. Let's have your reaction.
Yes. My regards to the guests in the house.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
We have said a lot of things. First of all, before I make comment on the issue of palliative, what the president has just done, that shows that you cannot compare a Democrat with a dictator. The president is a dictator. He knows how governance works. That is why he has to ask for that passage of that act first. Then on the issue of palliative, I belong to the private sector. The government should please take us into consideration too whenever the palliative issue is being worked out. The transport system should be looked into. The medical aspect should be looked into. And the educational system of Nigeria should be looked into. God bless Diamond FM and everything else.
Amen. Thank you so much. Let's get this also. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Cornelius. I'm calling from Ilorin.
Cornelius from Ilorin. Please, can you speak up a little bit?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
I want to speak on the issue of the palliative.
Okay.
To me, I see that our government is as if they don't have focus. Why?
Hello. Oh, so sorry. All right, you can also join in. Please, you can call back, Cornelius. Call back. Let's get your reaction. This says use BVN to distribute palliatives to both private and public sectors if it is monetary. That's coming from Olosunde Bubu. I hope I got the pronunciation of your name there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name?
From Dakambi.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim from Dakambi.
I commend your guest in the studio.
Thank you.
And I would like to contribute on the issue of palliative.
All right, thank you. Go ahead.
You see, what I will just urge the president is that giving out money for palliative is not the solution. The solution remains in four key areas, which are educational sector, agricultural sector, health sector, and infrastructure. So they should find a way of subsidizing educational and health sector and even agricultural sector, because if they give out money now, it will not reach the people at the grassroots. You get what I'm saying? But subsidizing this sector will help a lot. That is my contribution.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim, for joining us. I'll take this reaction and maybe one more, and then we'll go for a commercial break. The show is still very much on. Don't go anywhere. Our economist driver is a tax and tasks master Ordinary citizens are finding it difficult to survive. Economy is technically locked down. Solution: roll out 50,000 naira palliative per citizen per month by immediate effects. May God give our leaders understanding of this season. Amen. Mr. Olarewaju, I see you meditating. Good morning to you in the house. In my own belief, one of the best ways to solve Nigeria's problem is the removal of subsidy, because paying subsidy is same as giving out money, but through purchase of petrol when the money is always borrowed. Now the subsidy is removed. We are talking about palliative to cushion the effect. In my own opinion, it shouldn't be cash sharing, because the all 500 billion naira will give 50 million Nigerians just 10,000 naira only. If we hear the huge amount and later hear Shinkpini getting to the masses, we now begin to get confused. This money should be directed to strategic areas and physical, which many of us will feel and see the impact. From Abdul Wahid from Okoba. All right, thank you so much, Abdul Wahid, and every other one who's been a part of the show. Stay with us. We're going on a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
kókó lára ọ̀tá le. gbéra ńlẹ̀ kó dìde. kára ó lè pè ń ban. àtọ̀ra wọ̀ àtúrà pẹ̀sẹ̀ àtúrà dáadáa. kegun tó kegun náà. kára ó yá gágá. ara ń roni tẹ́lẹ̀ kò roni mọ́. tẹ̀bá ti fi kára ó lè pè ń ban ra. lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀ ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ wọnú igun. tó sì ń ṣe àtúntò rẹ̀. òṣùbù yẹ̀kẹ́ fa párọ̀ tàbí fi ẹsẹ̀ dá. fi kára ó lè pè ń ban bọ̀. káì ara rẹ̀ ó lè padà yakinlala. action action. ó jẹ́ ara ríro tàbí ẹ̀yìn dídùn. kára ó lè pè ń ban lọ́kọ̀ gbogbo wọn. agbára pọ̀. kára ó lè pè ń ban. tuyi pharmaceutical industries limited. àwọn tó lórúkọ tó ṣe é gbẹ́kẹ̀lé níbi ká po oògùn òyìnbó ló ṣe é. kára ó lè pè ń ban. ẹ̀rọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ pín ìrèpàtú òpèrè ta pàtà pọ́npọ́n. kára ó lè pè ń ban. ó kì í síbẹ̀.
kára ó lè pè ń ban múre àtúrà dáadáa.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
Alright, you're welcome back, and it's still the Diamond Breakfast Show on Diamond 88.7 FM. My name is Tobi Adebisi, and I have Mr. Olarewaju Lawal in the house, doing justice to the topics for us. I'll take this reaction and we'll move on to the next topic on the show. Good morning, presenter and analyst. My name is Engineer Gamble from Tanke. It would have been better if all Nigerians could join in one voice that our own refineries should be working and price of fuel should be sold at 100 naira maximum per liter. This will act positively on all citizens and increase in salaries of all civil servants. No one out of the present government is coming out to address Nigerians on position of our refineries. Nigerians are human beings. God bless Nigerians and Nigeria. Thank you so much, Virginia Gamble. I see you nodding, and you've been nodding for some time. So in like a minute, I would like to have your reaction on the reactions we've gotten.
Well, first and foremost, thank you to all those who have reacted. It shows that we are passionate about this country. But from past experiences, I will not advocate for cash disbursement because it is not tied to any productive venture. And once it is not tied to any productive venture, there is a high likelihood that it will be abused, it will be embezzled, it will be channeled into the wrong sector, or be wrong hands or wrong intentions or whatever we can call it. So government should look at critical sectors like health, education, agriculture, mass transportation, and power. That's a key driver of the economy. If those ones can be worked on, so much so that it will boost economic activities, then gradually we will begin to come out of these doldrums.
All right, thank you so much. Moving on to the next topic, you can still keep your reactions coming in on 09136556864 for text and WhatsApp. Again, 09136556864. 6864. The second story is that of former governor of Ogun State and the current senator in the 10th Senate, Otumba Gbenga Daniels, who wrote to the Ogun State government to suspend his pension and allowances. According to him, his monthly payment is about 676,000 naira. Is it a good move?
First and foremost, thank you for that question. First and foremost, the idea of pension for ex-governors, ex-president, for politicians is a bad idea. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth. Because for crying out loud, while you are in those offices, you are handsomely rewarded, handsomely paid, much more than most of your contemporaries around the world. Look at what our current political office holders earn. Compare it, as devalued as the naira is, convert it into dollars, and compare it around the world. They still come amongst the highest paid political office holders in the world. So what do they need pensions after serving for just 4, 8, maybe in the case of those in the legislature, ad infinitum, for as long as there is life? Because those ones don't have limitations on tenure. But for the executive positions, you can only come for 2 terms. But while you are there, maximum 8 years. For local government, maximum 6 years, because local government administration is 3 years. So the idea of collecting pension after serving for just 8 years for 2 terms is bad. It stinks. That's just the truth. Now, he's looking for a sort of redemption by saying they should suspend. I'm very critical of that word, suspend. So that means once he's out of the Senate and he's back home as a free citizen, then they can resume the payment again. And the current president was one of those who initiated this obnoxious law. And then it caught on like wildfire. It's just like a rotten tomato in a basket of good tomatoes. If you don't pick it out, it will infect the rest. Look at where we are. The cost of governance is way too high. It is highly unsustainable. It is a major leakage point in the economy. And we are not addressing it. He is just looking for cheap publicity. That's the way I see it. Because how many jobs do we have in this country that will pay you that amount? And he is even being economical with the truth. That's just the basic. There are so many allowances that are there that he did not even talk about. Now, it also depends on the type of state. Depending on how financially buoyant the state is. So what is all of this? There are so many of them in the Senate. In fact, they've turned the Senate House now into a retirement home for ex-governors. And there are so many of them like that there. The current Senate president, has he come out to say they should stop his own remuneration as ex-governor? Even our sitting president, has he come out to say they should stop his remuneration as ex-governor? Thank God for the governor of Kwara State, who repealed that act. And I'm calling on the other state governors to do the same. Repeal this act. It is obnoxious. It is anti-people. It is unprogressive. And it is borderline wicked. Because these states are owing pensioners, people who have given the most active part of their life into serving their states. People who serve for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 years. After serving the state, you find it difficult to pay them their pension. And yet, you as a governor, just if you are lucky enough, you serve for 2 terms, 8 years, and you are collecting such humongous amounts. It's self-serving.
All right, thank you so much. Others are also arguing that it's some people are saying that it's a thing of integrity. I love that you raised the point about it being, you raised the point that, He's not saying it should be stopped. He's saying that it should be
suspended.
Now, what some people are also saying is the fact that, whether he's saying that it should be stopped or it should be suspended, that it deserves some accolades for even saying, suspend it. What would you say about that?
What type of accolade? Please, let us not be economical with the truth. What type of accolade? For doing what is seemingly right? He's an adult, for crying out loud. He should know his right from his left. And if I'm correct, he should be a grandfather by now. So, what type of accolade do we give somebody who knows what he's doing? He's just self-serving. That's, for want of other radio-friendly adjectives. Let me just leave it at that. He's self-serving.
All right, thank you so much. Now,
but I hope others can learn a thing or two and at least stop all this hemorrhaging of the economy.
All right, one of the arguments also out there is that because you've already spoken about ex-governors, receiving pensions and their deputies receiving pensions. Some are also saying that, even if they want to receive pensions, they could stop the pensions if they get elected into other public offices. Let's say they become senators and all of that. People are also saying that if they get into the Senate, there's no reason to pay them, since they're also going to be receiving salaries as senators. They can stop the pensions and all of that. So what do you think about, because this is like simultaneous payments?
Those who are saying that, Tobi, they are just being clever by half. The question is, before you get into political office, were they jobless? Don't they have a career? Don't they have what they are doing? Don't they have a career or a job? Don't they have economic activities that they undertake that has been their main source of livelihood before they come into political office? It is clearly different from a civil servant who will dedicate 30, 35, 25, 20, 15, 10 years of their life. And then when they leave, they will now need to go and find something else to do. For those who have spent like 35 years, age has caught up with them. The vitality of their youth is no longer there. That is why they depend on the state. It is clearly different from somebody who is coming into politics, into public office. He was not jobless before coming in. So why can't you go back to your former job or your former business? So why should we continue to fund that exorbitant lifestyle? It is abhorring. And it is wicked. It is anti-people. It is unprogressive. Let them repeal this obnoxious act.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Larewaju Lawal. Let's get your reactions. What do you think about governors, their deputies, and some certain public officials getting pensions after they leave office? Do not forget that some sitting senators, as of today, as they receive salaries as senators, they also receive pensions and allowances for as ex-governors. So what do you think about that? This is like double or even triple payments. So what do you think about that? 09136556952 or 080-00887-887. Those are the numbers to call on the show. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. This is Abdurazak. I'm coming from Sobi Road.
All right, thank you, Abdurazak from Sobi Road. What would be your reaction this morning?
I think the issue of governors collecting pension, if you look at it very well, is against the rule of law that says everybody is equal before the law. How can a governor collect pension? Is it even possible for a civil servant who is collecting pension and got another government job? Can they be collecting pension twice? It's not possible. Now they say it is possible for the governor to be collecting pension after service, after all we have paid to them. This is totally against the rule of law. Then we are not equal before the law. So that thing should be totally scrapped by all other governors, like our state governor here have done. That is my feel.
Thank you so much for that. That's another angle to look at it from. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm speaking from Opa.
All right, thank you.
You see, what bothers me is that when somebody does something that is supposed to do, that is normal, we start praising that person. I don't know when we become so negative. Let me tell you, anybody who watches this former governor's interview, we know that he was even bitter. He said his successor was not paying what he was supposed to be paid. And that, not that he stopped it, he suspended it. Our governor supposed to be collecting pensions after 8 years. In civil service rules, unless you stay up to 10 years, you are not pensionable. People will beg, and you know the most unfortunate thing, go and check. All these 14 sitting senators who are former governors, they all have cases of corruption in court. So, in how many ways are we going to pay them? For God's sake. When we have millions of Nigerians who are graduates, as I'm talking to you, I have 5 graduate children who are not employed. They will be servicing only one person. They will pay them as senator, as minister, as this, as that. Is that as we continue? God help Nigeria.
Amen. Thank you so much. I love that he ended on the note of God help Nigeria. We'll take more reactions, but very quickly, let's also take a look at our third story, and then we can come focus on reactions. As Nigerians are aware, President Tinubu, his announcement and his announcement of his ministers, many have called for some ministries to be merged and number of ministers reduced. According to them, there's a lot of duplication of functions in the current setup. What are your thoughts? And when do you see these ministries actually being merged? Let me get your thoughts on that.
Well, I don't have a crystal ball to be able to predict the future, but it's a noble call for some of these ministries to be merged, because you see sometimes they overlap, their duties overlap, and then there's lack of synergy even amongst them, so much so that sometimes you see them working at crossroads to each other. Nigeria is bleeding. Our economy, our pulse is hemorrhaging seriously, and we need to cut the cost of governance by every means possible. And one of such is to reduce the over-bloated ministries. You see, there's a part of the constitution that says a minister must come from every state. That part of the constitution is anti-people in the long run, because what it does is to serve political interest and not the people's interest. Because whoever is going to come in must get the nod of the political stakeholders, the current political stakeholders in that state as at that time. Not because the person is competent, not because the person is a genius, he's coming to help us, not because the person has altruistic motives to come and help us. So that part of the constitution must be repealed. That's number one. Number two, those ministries, some of them should be merged so as to reduce the number of political appointees. We've turned politics into job for the boys without anything productive coming out of it. So people will just come, get into political office, appoint their cronies there, and they keep smiling to the bank every month. So if they can do that, fine. I don't have a crystal ball to know what they will do in the future. So if they can, good for us. If they don't, well, good luck to us as well.
Well, a question that some people are also asking is, we're calling on a merger of these ministries. People are calling for a merger of this ministry, and people are saying that if they are merged, the people who work in these ministries, where should they be thrown to?
Because they are civil servants. They see, before we had like was it 37, 38 ministries before it's bloated into around 49 and all of that. Where did those workers come from? They simply seconded them from their parent ministry to the new ministries so they can be taken back. So when you merge ministries, it does not mean you lay off civil servants. You would only reduce the number of political appointees heading such ministries. That's all.
Thank you for that clarification. I think on that note, we can take reactions now. 09136556952. Again, 09136556952 or 080-00887887. Oh, we lost that call. Let's get this message. It says, "Good morning, Toby. My opinion on palliative is that government should look at the critical areas like transportation, agriculture, health and education and invest whatever amount made on it. On governors taking pensions, let there be a nation protest to let them know that we are kicking against it." Issa Mohammed from Ilori. Thank you so much, Issa Mohammed. I have this also, and it says, "Good morning, guys in the studio. Honestly, we Nigerians are used as shock absorbers. Despite the fact that our leaders are in position to sacrifice like us, because they use our cars, our collective owned house, but they will always appeal to us to sacrifice while they hardly use their single money for anything while they are in office. May God heal our land." That's from Olalere from Taiwo. This says, "Hi, good morning to you, presenter, guests, and listeners. I'm Mohammed from Maiduguri. My opinion is the money should be used to subsidize foodstuff and the remaining should go for agriculture. God bless Diamond FM." All right, let's get this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Taiwo again. I'm calling from Taiwo.
All right, Taiwo, please make it short.
Okay, yeah, on this issue, this shows that there are other things that kills Nigeria even more than subsidy. Yes, they should stop all these kind of things. If Mr. Tinubu said he's stopping, he removed subsidy to stop some people from stealing Nigerians' money. This kind of thing is a critical way that they are using to extort money from the pocket of the nation. So that they need to do something by stopping. Mr. President should make sure that he sent a bill to the National Assembly to stop all this kind of useless or unnecessary payment. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, Taiwo from Taiwo. This says, it's a text message and it says, government is owing 300 billion naira pension arrears. Government should settle pension arrears from fuel subsidy removal. Pensioners are in pains. That's coming from Kolade from Asadam. Hello, good morning.
Tobi.
Hi, good morning.
Mr. Davis is calling back from Shao.
All right, thank you, Mr. Davis from Shao.
That is why Diamond FM is number one. The resource-fed people that these people are bringing every time, they have never disappointed us.
Thank you so much for that.
You see, your guest said something about this issue of suspension of pension. Is it suspension or cancellation through outright? The word suspension means something else. It's Ogbegada should have used scrapping, and they should stop paying for obnoxious law.
Okay.
In fact, this is draconian law.
All right.
It's on our policy. We should have a national law. What I refer to as national law is that the issue of governance should come direct from the top and not from the state again. Then on the issue of ministry margin, I think we should match some ministry. We should have less minister, and there shouldn't be anything like state minister again, because the division of function.
All right.
Thank you, my sister.
Thank you so much, Mr. Davis. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Samuel from Abudi.
All right, let's have you quickly, Samuel.
In Nigeria, if we can see how ex-governors like Obafemi Awolowo, Michael Okpara, and let me see the Saudana of Sokoto, as a governor, those are the people that can use their salaries and wages to sponsor education in Nigeria. So why serving as a representative of their people? But the act that so all those kind of people, I think paying them pensions after retirement should not be an issue. But the act that established the payment of the pensions does not, there is no ignorance law, does not even take out. it's going to be a corruption like this.
All right.
But if you can see how the selfless is serving governors, I think there is nothing wrong with it. But our people are not serving; they are looting our money. So we should stop the money should stop.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. That would be the last call we'll be taking on the show today. Good morning to you, our guest. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR should not even attempt to share money to anybody because it will be another source of enriching the few.
Yeah.
It should channel it to education, health, infrastructure, agriculture, etc. But if he is to share the money, please help me beg the president to make me the focal person to be in charge of that program. That's coming from Oniboje. Oniboje, you be the one to, reach out to the president yourself so that you would let him know that you are interested in being the person in charge. This says, this is a long message. It says, good morning to you, the presenter, and kudos to your analyst. I think 500 billion palliative at this moment in a conditional cash transfer manner is still not a way forward because it's still subjected to corruption, and the amount each household is likely to get is not sustainable in any way. I think instead of sharing that 500 billion, why can't the government channel such to what will benefit all Nigerians? Let's develop our health, education, power, and other critical sectors rather than sharing that money. Let's not forget that the government said we are now saving 400 billion naira in a month since we've removed subsidy. Let this government not tell the part of the last administration that its conditional cash transfer have no effect on the economy. And about the pension for ex-governor, I think Kwara, Lagos, and some states have repealed the law. Let all states copy that too. It's absurd, and all states, it's absurd paying ex-governors despite all what they have been entitled to when they were serving. Abdul Karim from Ilori. Okay, we'll get to one more, and that be the size of the show for today. Good morning in the studio. Thanks to our guest. The issue of pension to ex-governor and others is barbaric and is an act of wickedness from the pit of what I can't say. God bless Nigeria. God bless Diamond FM. Olani from A Division. Thank you. A very big thank you to everyone who's come on the show today. It's been a great ride with you, and a very big kudos to our guest in the house, Mr. Olariwaju Lawal. Thank you for coming again.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
It's always a pleasure to have you in the house.
And let me just give a quick shout out to my friend, Engineer Abiona Oladipo. He's a year older today. Long life and prosperity, my friend.
Amen. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much for gifting us your friend to do all the amazing things he does with us. All right, my name is Tobi Adebisi, and I just want you to have an amazing rest of the day. You can hustle, but don't let hustle destroy you, okay? It's going to be well. Stay tuned to Diamond 88.7 FM. We love you.
Diamond FM, radio made for you.
Have you seen the sun? Have you seen the moon? They are shining light for you. And have you seen the stars shining in the dark? 'Cause God is still watching you. Life is beautiful, however you